It is Snapshot Day, my dudes. Welcome to the Minecraft Snapshot 21W17A. If you're new here and you don't understand the snapshots, the 21 stands for the year because it's 2021. The W stands for week. The 17 stands for what week we're in. And A stands for the first kind of snapshot. So we are currently in week 17 of 2021. Starting off with this tweet coming from Hendrik. In today's snapshot, we add Noodle Caves. Long, thin, squiggly, claustrophobic tunnels. They complement the larger caves and make the cave system more interconnected. Here is how they look alone without the other cave types. Note that you need to download the C&C preview data pack, but we do have a video. Something else pretty crazy that I would like to mention is that Phoenix SC tweeted this. This is a single vein of iron ore in 21W16A, so last week's snapshot. Wrote a program to count how many ores are connected. The answer is 14,539 iron ore, all connected together. If you do enjoy staying updated with all the snapshots, can you drop a like? I really appreciate it, and it really helps me out. Getting into the first change. Small drip leaves can now also be placed on moss blocks. Literally just this simple. Break and place. You can't place them here, but you can now place them there. Copper ore drops 2 to 3 raw copper when mined, or more when using a tool enchanted with fortune. So simple change. If you are mining the regular copper, you have a chance of getting, I think that's 2 there. There's 3 there. And if we break this one has dropped also 3 as well. If you're using fortune, of course, your chances are increased. So it's going to be 6 versus 2 and 6. Wow, we really did get unlucky there. Let's try this one more time with fortune 3. So this time 2 and, wow, 4. We're just slightly unlucky in today's video. But yeah, fortune obviously increases your chances, but by default it's 2 to 3. Tweaked the texture of raw metal blocks. So the bean blocks have been changed. And I do have a picture comparison for you. So here is the comparison. Last week's snapshot on the left and this week's snapshot on the right. It's so much better. It's a lot more bolder. It stands out a little bit more. Although I do love the bean block, I'm super happy with this week's changes and it's a thumbs up from me. For the next set of changes, you are going to need the latest Caves and Cliffs preview. You literally just drag it into the data pack section, do this, and you're good to go. So the changes to caves, large ore veins have been tweaked. Added Noodle Caves. They are thinner, squigglier, and more claustrophobic variants of spaghetti caves. Literally, all this talk about food is making me hungry. A little bit of a description about large ore veins. Ore veins are now slightly rarer and slightly smaller, but the developers have outlined they are still large. The ores in the vein are clumpier and less evenly distributed. So I think that kind of goes back to what I was saying at the start of today's video with the picture from Phoenix SC. I'm guessing the developers seen it and they're making some changes there. It says here, if you are lucky, you may find raw ore blocks in the veins. So does that mean you have the chance of finding block of raw iron, block of raw copper, and block of raw gold evenly distributed between the new ore variations? Like, I honestly think that is what they're aiming for. I honestly think that's what the developers are trying to do. So you might actually be mining iron and then find some of these. Mining copper and then boom, you find that. Or even mining gold just randomly. And you have the chance to find these. I haven't done a big test on that, but let me show you guys these new caves. So this looks like the perfect example here. So these new caves, the Noodle Caves, they work very well with the Spaghetti Caves. The Noodle Caves are a lot thinner. And how I figured this out is that the Noodle Caves are typically at the top. The further you go down, it then kind of goes into the Spaghetti Caves. And then the further you go down, you start to enter like the bigger cave generation. So I really like it. They complement each other incredibly well. But I honestly feel like the developer's job is still not done. And there's still a lot more work to happen here. So this is probably the best way for me to explain it. They're really thin and claustrophobic like this. Like you're going to find yourself mining your way through to then make your way to the bigger cave generation. So the further we go down, you can see that they're still interconnected. But the player is going to have to do all the work to get down here. And I think the further we keep going, this will then start to enter like a new set of cave generation. So these are starting to get a little bit bigger, but they still might be under the Noodle Cave generation. And then the further you go down, I think we then start to enter the Spaghetti stage. Yep, it's all named after food. And then, of course, we're going to start to enter. So there's nothing this way. I think if we go back this way and to the left, I think this should start to enter like the bigger cave generations as well. So yeah, super impressed with this. And again, I feel like there's still a couple more tweaks to be done to this, but huge improvement. Last but not least, everybody's favorite bug fixes. Here's a couple that I pulled out. Teleporting players to a phantom crashes the game. Candles aren't grouped in the recipe book. Big drip leaf stem remains after breaking a stem or leaf above it. Floating islands world type generates extreme terrain. If you guys want the rest of the changes, there's a link down below. Nothing major this week, and what I will say to you guys is the main focus now is getting 1.17 ready for the summer release. Then we focus on the big stuff like the cave stuff that I just showed you, which will be 1.18, which will be the end of the year. Again, if you do enjoy today's video, please be sure to hit that like button. Have a great day, and if you do find any of those blocks inside the ore veins, feel free to tweet me. It's just at ECKOSOLDIER. This is literally my Twitter. I will see you all in the next video.